What's good, Chisme family? Marisa popping in on your feed here for a quick second. Before I get the episode rolling for you, I just want you to know we recorded this weekend, none of it saved. Woe is me. Anyway, to make up for that, I took advantage of a little drive I was having with my homegirl, Nikki, where we were talking about, are we cynical or have we just become selective? And we mean about relationships, about men, about dating, about all of it. So continue listening in, join the conversation, and I want to hear what y'all think. Bye. So do you think that we're cynical, or do you think that we have just finally reached a point in our lives where we know what we want and what we will tolerate?
I don't think we're cynical at all. I think we've gone through enough things, things that we needed to go through in order to know what we want and need for our own personal being and reasons. And so, yes, there are certain things we will and will not tolerate.
I hear you. And you know, like, the reason I've been thinking about this is because I've been reflecting on some of the individuals, like these beautiful, wonderful men that have come into my life and tried to date me, or I've had relationships with. And, you know, I ask myself, okay, like, am I supposed to have like a certain level of space for them to essentially fuck up? And that is going to just be part of our growth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I also reach these points where I just don't care enough. I don't have, like, the emotional want to invest in these people if they aren't what I already need. Do you see what I'm saying?
I completely see what you're saying, and I completely understand, because I find myself actually doing the same thing. And then I question myself, like, did I make the right decision? Like, am I expecting perfection?
Yeah. And
perfection isn't real, so people are going to make mistakes, and the whole part of it is growth and the learning process, and it's supposed to make you stronger together, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's just certain things that we don't have to and shouldn't tolerate.
Yeah.
And those are just boundaries you can't cross.
That's true.
And so and when I look back at these wonderful men that I've dated, and where I decided to cut them off and decide not for me anymore, I've thought about that. But no, it's just, you know what, I wish them the best. I wish them growth and maturity, and that I hope they find what they're looking for.
Absolutely. You know, I really am, at least now, and it took me a while to get here, and it took me going through these relationships of just being, like, treated so well, but, like, it just wasn't enough to make me dive in for that full commitment, because there were times where, like, they would do something or they would say something and I would end up in tears.
In what way?
Like, happy tears.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because when you've never had, like, these certain things, and then someone gives them to you and, like, shows you your value and your worth, I was like, damn.
It's beautiful.
I didn't know I was missing this. And so, like, I have to hold on to this idea, or is it a hope even, that eventually there's going to be someone and it'll just, like they say, it's all going to make sense.
Correct. I think all these wonderful men that we've dated and have met have taught us and shown us a little bit of what we're looking for. First we had the men that taught us, this is the shit I don't want.
Yeah.
And then now we're having the men that are showing us, like, this is what you deserve, but only to a certain extent, because then they lack in other areas that we want and need. So I think it's just full circle going to come all the way around, and they're showing us, like, this is what it's supposed to feel like, this is how you're supposed to be treated. And I think at some point that one man will come around, and the fact that you use the word hope is exactly what does not make us cynical, because we are hopeful.
Yeah. You know, and like, I'll be honest, like, I've dated men who are younger than I am, and it's just, I can't do it, honestly, because like they're just devoid of like the qualities that I think are necessary for me to be fulfilled in a relationship. And more often than not, like, it's just what they want from you or from me is just very base. They just want sex. They just want to get a whip. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I really enjoy about an older man is the fact that there's levels to them.
Oh yeah, I love older men. Ugh. They're my favorite.
And older, smarter, just, we love a thick man too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean thick as in fat though.
No,
I mean like
some meat on him.
Like, you got some meat on you, and like you got some muscle, but like you don't have to be cut.
Yeah.
Like the dad bod, like I'm with it. Like I'm about it. You know what I'm saying? But going back to our conversation, I have, my beautiful girlfriends, and like I love y'all so much. And we were having a discussion one day about how you're never going to find the perfect person. You're just like eventually going to have to settle. And to me, I'm just like, no. If I'm going to be giving you my time, my energy, and creating this space for you in my life, you got to be it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you better be about it, because I don't have time for games. And I feel like a lot of people like to play mind games now. Mm-hmm. I just don't have the time and the energy for it.
Well, yeah, I think we're just at a point where we're done sacrificing ourselves.
Yeah.
For mediocre men.
That's what they are, just mediocre.
Yeah.
And we're just meant for more.
Yeah, we are. And, as I've shared with you in the past, I'm just at a point in my life, whether that man comes across, to me, or at some point in the future, great. And if not, I'm honestly happy just staying single. I would rather be alone than to be with somebody who just isn't completely right for me.
I hear you. And like, I'll be talking more about how like I came to this realization about where I want to put my time, because like honestly I'm doing a lot right now, and I'm okay with that. Like, I enjoy that. I find fulfillment in it. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to be like cutting time in my life and in my day-to-day for somebody, it's because there's something there. There's a future there. There's not just potential, but it's like the person. Like, and I'm just over falling in love with someone's potential.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And in my case, I'm done trying to help them reach their potential.
Yeah. But then, like, does that take away from building a life together? Does it have to be difficult? Does building a life together have to be difficult?
My answer to that is no.
Okay.
I don't think so. I really don't think that love is that hard. I don't think that having respect towards somebody is that hard. I don't think being an honest person is hard. And I speak this because I am one of those people. Now, if you lack in having respect for women, or vice versa, right? Because this could all go both ways. Mm-hmm. Then you just really don't belong in a relationship. If you cannot be an open book with your partner, you should just stay single.
That's true. It's like, I'm going to tell you everything, and I hope that you're okay with it. And if you're not okay with it, then like, obviously this just isn't it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't sign away my time. And I know that there are a lot of people who are like, well, I just want to date casually. Cool. Like, do you be about that life? If you have the time for it, the energy for it, just be about it. But I just don't. I don't have time for casual sex. I don't have time for like casual relationships. Like, if I'm going to be giving and putting my time somewhere, it's because it's going somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I mean, like, that, I'm not hating on anybody that does do casual dating, casual relationships. Shit, do you, boo boo. Sometimes like you find more of yourself and who you are going through that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, like, always use protection. Like, please be smart. Don't be making babies with people that you don't want to be making babies with. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
And that's what you got to pay attention to, you know? You got to find that partner that you're going to say, damn, hell yeah, I want to have babies with him because I know he's going to be a damn great father.
Yeah.
Not just a great father, but at the end of the day, a great partner, because this is what you're showing your children.
That's true.
And this is what your children will become.
Mm-hmm.
Be just a beautiful story. And I don't think that's hard. You know?
Yeah.
So we're not cynical. We're hopeful.
We're hopeful.
Definitely.
Yeah. So for now, I'm just going to focus on the grinds, stay dedicated to it, be in a relationship with myself.
Loving myself.
Loving myself.
Feeling myself.
I mean, sometimes.
You know it.
And just be about that, because if you ain't ready to be about it and like all of it, like I don't got time for you. I do not. You will not survive here. We will eat you alive.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest. I mean, and that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.